And it is that time, everyone. It is that time. It's that time for another edition of Marilyn's Cafe Society radio show right here on YouTube. And how are you? Oh, it's another weekend here. And of course, we're transitioning into spring. This week we've been having some winter weather. I'm going to step off camera for a second, as well as spring-like weather. And so, to keep it springy around here, I've purchased flowers. Aren't they pretty? And I am, of course, going to, I have them in other rooms in the house as well. So it's just to kind of keep that springy feeling going, right? Keep your attitude up and your spirits up. All right, so the show today is going to be a little bit different from what we normally have. Of course, today being Saturday, March the 20th, 2021. I'm just going to kind of skate over some of the headlines and then we'll jump into the segment with our special guest for Women's History Month. All right. So let's go ahead and get into COVID-19 check. According to John Hopkins, they're reporting 122 million cases globally now and 2.7 million deaths. Also, the United States leads with the world with about 30 million confirmed cases and 540 million deaths. And I just read yesterday that there's about 15 states here in the United States that's reporting an uptick, a slight uptick in cases. And so let's just continue to be diligent, everybody. I think for the most part, we are kind of trending downward. And if we continue to watch our distance, wash our hands, wear your mask, and for those who choose to take the vaccine, do that. I think we will be fine. Now, in stimulus news, it looks like most Americans, or I should say many, have received that $1,400 boost that they've been anticipating. Small businesses and particularly minority owned businesses have or will receive a lifeline through this new package that passed last week. And big businesses, along with state and local governments, will also benefit as well. Now, our employment numbers are improving, but we still have some issues with housing and food insecurity. So stay tuned. We'll continue to stay on top of that here at the Cafe Society. And did you hear the good news that the House passed that bill that will give around 2 million, not 200, 2 million dreamers legal status here in the United States? Now, dreamers, of course, are illegal immigrants who were brought to the United States as children, and of course, that also includes thousands of others who escaped violence um, from about a dozen or so troubled countries. And again, our hearts go out to those victims, family of victims in Atlanta. Of course, it's been reported that law enforcement in Atlanta has arrested and charged a 21-year-old white man for the murder of 8 human beings, and 6 of those being Asian women. Of course, many believe that this was a hate crime, but authorities have yet to confirm it. We, of course, again, pray that, the families and friends of these victims get some strength and comfort in their loss. And we certainly stand by our friends from the Asian community and especially women. And that now brings us to our segment, and we're going to jump on and bring in our participant for the segment. And the segment for Cafe Talk is entitled this week, Women, We've Come a Long Way, Baby. And of course, I've been checking into this, and we certainly know it. It's common knowledge that women have made many advances in the last decade or so. We've improved our earnings, our education levels of education have certainly improved. You can find us all over the place in the STEM industry and those STEM related industries, the sciences, the technology, um, as well as engineering and mathematics. And lo and behold, we still outnumber men. Again, common knowledge, right? We've always known that there's more women on the planet than there are men. But listen to these numbers. According to the United States Census Bureau, in 2019, there were 166.6 million women here in the United States and 161.7 million males. Compare that to 2010 when there was 157 million women and 152, just under 152 million males. Now, when it comes to education, 33.9% of women 25 and older earned bachelor degrees or higher, compared to 32% of men. And going back to 2010, 28.5% of men 25 and older had a bachelor's degree or higher, while 28, just under 28% of women had them. So that brings us to the segment. Again, we've come a long way, baby. Should that be a statement or should that be a question? And so our special guest for today is going to help walk us through this question or statement from a deeper, more personal perspective. And her name, of course, is Tonya Lewis Taylor, who's author of the book Be You, Not Her. Now, Tonya is a CEO, a philanthropist, and author of this new book. She's also um, the co founder of Executive I'm sorry. She's also co-founder and executive director of Entertainers for Education Alliance, which is headquartered in New York City, which is a non-for-profit organization that enlists celebrities and high-profile individuals to stress the importance and coolness of being educated. She's CEO of New York-based I Will Graduate Youth Development Agency. Now, Tanya's work has been celebrated and awarded with several proclamations by New York City's mayors, de Blasio, as well as Bloomberg, and even the former New York State Governor, David Patterson, recognized her for outstanding service by declaring I Will Graduate Day for the city and state of New York. Other recognitions of Tanya include being named one of New York City's great people by the New York Daily News. MSNBC honored her as a foot soldier, and Columbia University named her New Yorker of the Week. Now, listen, you all, there is so much more that I can say about this young lady, but I'll get into that a little bit later. For now, though, let's welcome Tanya to the show and let's bring her on. All righty, we'll give her another minute or two to come on the show, and she's going to be sharing her perspective on how we think women have advanced here in the United States and around the world, and specifically from, as I said earlier, a personal perspective on how things should go. So let's see if we can get her on and bring her into the show. And it looks like we have her finally to the show, Tonya Lewis Taylor.
Hey, darling, Tonya.
Tonya,
It's
Tonya
pronounced
Lewis.
Tonya Lewis Taylor.
That's right. That's right. We finally got you on board, Tonya. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me, Marilyn. I apologize. I was on a call with the mayor's office, and right around 2 minutes to one, they started asking me a bunch of questions, and I was like, "Oh my God, I have." So we're off, and I'm grateful to be with you this afternoon.
Wonderful. Good to see you. So good to see you. And now I just introduced you to the audience, and I saved a little bit more for later as we move through our talk. But the cafe talk topic that I threw out there, Tonya, is we've come a long way, baby. Or should I say, we've come a long way, baby. Is it a
Absolutely.
question or is it a statement? Now, I told the
Mhm.
audience that you were going to address this from a more deeper personal perspective for women. I shared the stats on how we've improved in the STEM occupations of STEM, science, technology, engineering, mathematics. We have more degrees now. We're earning more money, although we're still kind of behind the eight ball and all of that. But from
Mhm.
a professional and even more personal perspective, do you think that um, in spite or despite of the achievements and progress that women have made, that they have come a long way? I know there's that whole issue of the imposter syndrome, and now we're all kind of stepping into, well, in the last couple of decades, we've been stepping into the know thyself movement, which you address in your new book. What do you think? I know that you kind of touched on it in chapter one of your book.
Yeah, listen, Marilyn, we have come a long way and we have a long way to go. That is really just the truth of it. There was a time we couldn't vote. There was a time we were told that we had to be stay-at-home mothers,
Yes,
but there's so much brilliance in us as women. We can do whatever. And listen, the truth of it, I don't want to get the men upset, but the truth
yes,
of it, without us, everything crumbles.
yes, yes,
Listen, without us, everything crumbles. So we have come a long way. There's a long way to go. And I think it's really about us as women, really making sure that we are celebrated for all that we do. We do a lot. We got to carry the babies, then we got to raise the babies. No, we got to
yes.
carry them, then push them out, which is another job. Then we got to raise the babies. Then we got to make sure that the house is together, that the family structure is together, while we also keep our minds together and try to achieve our dreams. So we got a lot on our plate.
We do, Tanya. And as we continually um, evolve and continue on the journey of self-discovery, um,
Hmm.
there's some key things that you reference in your book that should help us be impactful in that. Could you share some of the points? You talk about excellence, the importance of excellence, and the importance of being happy and staying
Mhm.
determined and etc. Just kind of touch on that a little bit.
Well, you made a very great point earlier, and you said the three important words: know thyself. And
Yeah.
that was really what the book was about, me understanding how to know myself. And I
Mhm.
wrote this book from the perspective of three important questions that I had to answer. Who am I? Why am I here? And how do my unique gifts and talents fit into the world? What is my assignment in the earth? What have I been called to do? It's not just to be, somebody that writes a book, but there's more to it. And so in the book we discuss all of these key things that helps women understand who they are. Why am I here, and how do my uniqueness fit into the world? And in doing that, you have to know about being happy, about self-love. You have to understand your purpose. You have to understand how to be happy and how to be excellent in everything you do in order to achieve your goals. So I talk about these things because I want women to understand that our journey is not just this that we see, but our journey is also for the people who are coming after us, our children, our children's children, people who will discover Maryland's Cafe Society 50 years, 100 years from now, and say, wow, look at what she's accomplished and look at what she's done. And your message will still resonate with them. So, we got a lot on our plate, but, we got a lot to do, and we're moving towards our goals to become all that we were called to be and excellent as women.
Yeah, and so you referenced yourself. As I share with the audience, you are co-founder of the Entertainers for Education Alliance, as well as CEO of the I Will Graduate Youth Development Agency, Tonya. What caused you to take an interest in young people?
I've been in youth ministry my entire life. So since the age of 11, I was summoned by the minister of music at my church to start training to direct and teach the children. Now I was 11, and I was a big 11. I was a little big for my age, but I was still 11.
Yeah.
And I went through a year-long training with the minister of music. And from that point on, I had been teaching children from the age of 12, teaching children younger than me throughout my entire life. So this is part of my life's journey, is working with young people, helping to develop themselves. Later in life, I became, the youth minister. Then later in life, became the youth pastor, and so on and so forth. And so it's just been part of the journey. And remember, we talked about knowing your assignment. My
Yeah.
assignment has always been kids. Even when I
Gotcha.
wanted to run away from kids,
Even when
kids
you were
brought to
a
me.
kid, even when you yourself was a kid.
I've started working with kids at the age of 11.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
at the
That's incredible. That's incredible. Now,
well,
that's
at the time, I didn't think it was incredible. I
okay.
felt like my childhood was being taken away. But
Gotcha.
I look back on my life, and everything, Marilyn, worked out for my good. Whew. Mm. It all worked out for me, even though at the time I thought it was the worst thing. Oh, my childhood, I can't go play. I'm here studying music with these old people. But
Yeah,
then you look back over your life and you say, it worked for my good.
all the dots connected. All the dots connected. Tanya, that brings
That's
me
right.
to my next segment here, the entertainment news part of the show. And of course, you're the news. Tanya Lewis Taylor, CEO, author, philanthropist, songwriter, producer, singer. Now, in your evolution, Tonya, you have worked as a high profile music executive and even are a gifted singer, a multifaceted performer yourself. You were former celebrity publicist, marketing executive in the music industry, including a tenure with Roc-A-Fella Records. As a gifted and multifaceted performer, you have toured and performed in over 45 countries, singing backup for notables like Mariah Carey and Mary J. Blige, and of course gospel
Hmm.
luminaries like Fred Hampton and Donnie McClurkin. You've worked off Broadway, and Mama, I wanna sing. And of
Yeah.
course, gospel is. 2014, you released your debut album, Delayed But Not Denied, which made Billboard's top 15 with a single Thank You.
Wow.
2016, you hit the Billboard's top 25 with the song from your sophomore album, I've Got to Win. And that song was I Am a Winner. And now, this new release, Tonya, this new release that is with the Ears Music Group. I'm going to see if I can just bring up a portion of that. And then I want you to talk to us about your musical journey and how you discovered that talent and was able to make it work for you. So here's a little bit of I Am More Than a Conqueror.
I can't hear it, but I don't know if your audience can.
Know that you have the victory and you're more than a conqueror. This song is for you. Ladies, I'm more than a conqueror. I am more than a conqueror. All right. I can do all things. I love that. I love that. So, so Tanya,
Oh, that is so fun. It's so much fun. When I hear it, it's like, I could feel the fun and excitement when we were doing it. So,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, I love your energy and your messaging and your music. You know, that first single, Thank You. The second one, I Am a Winner. And now this one, I Am More Than a Conqueror. Talk to me, honey. Tell me about this musical journey. How did you get into the entertainment business and then was able to actually become a performer, a singer yourself?
Okay, so as I told you, I was born into a musical family. So my parents, my mom and dad are in ministry. My mom is a pastor, my dad is the deacon, but everyone in my family, my father and my mother will terrorize any place singing. When I tell you, they are those people. And so it's part of my DNA. We had a family group, and so I've been singing my whole entire life. Fast forward, then to the age of 11, I began training under the minister of music to teach music. So my life, my early life's journey was nothing but music, and I wanted to perform. And so out of high school, I started to pursue a music career, and during that time, I was doing backup for people, like you said, people. I was able to do some stuff with Mariah Carey and Mary J. Blige. I did "Mama I Want to Sing," "Gospel Is." And then as I was on that journey, as you know, trying to become a artist is not easy
Yeah,
when you're looking for someone else to say you're good enough. And
yeah,
so it just wore me out. And after a while, I just stopped pursuing a music career, and I went behind the scenes at Roc-A-Fella Records. I had just come off of a tour, and a friend of mine had invited me to a job fair, and it was all of the record labels were hiring. And I was already working, and I was really just looking to get into a label to see if I could get a deal, right? But
yes,
I wound up working, and next thing you know, they sucked me in. I became an executive there, started working, doing PR, and started my own PR firm, and the rest is history with that.
yeah,
But there was a void, and
yeah,
that void was music, and
yeah.
that void had been for years. And one day I woke up, went in the shower, and boom, God started giving me all of these new songs. And that's how the journey started. I said, what is happening? I got all these songs I'm writing in my head. I started journaling and everything, hooked up with a friend of mine who is a musician, and told him what I believe I heard, and I wanted to record an album. And it was really just that simple. I pulled together, I've been singing my life, pulled together my friends who sing and asked them if they could back me up, got together my musicians. I'm still in church, been in church, so musicians are not a problem, singers are not a problem. And we did the album. And to my surprise, it was received so well that I got top 15 on the Billboard charts. And in addition to that, I got offered a tour with Fred Hammond and Donnie McClurkin to be
Oh,
the
wow.
opening act. So I say all of that to say that when your journey, a lot of times we don't see the road, Marilyn, because we're busy. We're trying to get things accomplished. But don't you know that everything will work out in time for our good?
Mm,
And
mm.
that's just how it all worked out. And then I put my second album out. I've got to win. And now we have the third single out, and that album is going to come out later this year. I
Oh
have
my
more than enough.
God. It's just so amazing. And I know that you are probably even more amazed than I am since it's you that's been on that journey. But it's just so amazing how the path was set. It was set for you.
But I
Oh,
didn't know it at the time.
yeah,
That's the problem. We
yeah,
never know it's set for us, because remember, we're seeing it blindly. We're going and doing, but
yeah.
when we look
And you
back,
you were probably like, oh, I want to be the singer. I want to be the performer. But okay, I guess I'll just go work for this label.
it,
And
you got it. You got it.
yes,
You got it.
yes, 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 yes. Well,
But
listen,
when I look back, Marilyn, when I
yes,
just look back, I see how it all connected. But at the time, I didn't see it.
yeah. And you were learning things that helped you in your own um, music. Promoting and getting the PR for your.
Look at that. Do you see, girl? You hit it. All of the skills that I learned at Roc-A-Fella, all of the
Yeah,
stuff that I learned, I was able to now apply that to me. See,
isn't that
all
something?
things.
Isn't
Woo,
that something? Isn't that
it's
something?
amazing. All
It's
things, to your viewers, everything is purposeful in your life. It will work together for your good. You just got to believe.
oh, that is so good. And
Yes.
Tonya, that brings me to this next segment, my women's history segment, where I'm spotlighting and lifting and profiling women who are making history. this month for Women's History Month. And so you are the person that I am spotlighting and lifting on this particular show. Tonya Lewis Taylor.
So I'm gonna
Uh,
tell you about how I got my name. So
yeah,
remind me to tell
yeah,
you how I got my name.
yeah. Okay. Um, I can feel this. I've heard that everywhere you go, you engage people, you encourage people, you empower people to reach their full potential in their spiritual and personal and even entrepreneurial lives. Uh, Obviously and clearly, you are fueled with a passion to help people, especially women, become what God created them to be in excellence. And so it's no surprise that I can also introduce you as pastor of Women of Power Fellowship, which is an organization that you created to mentor women. My goodness, Tonya, you are spotlighted this month on Maryland's Cafe Society, celebrating women's history, a woman making history. Tell me about Tonya. How did you get Tonya versus Tanya?
Yes, actually. Well, thank you for sharing that journey. Anytime someone recalls my journey, it just makes me tear up
Yeah,
because, you don't realize how many miles you've come
yeah,
until somebody starts to recount it for you. You understand? So that's why I always tear up when someone starts to recount my journey. But I will say my name, the famous journalist Geraldo Rivera,
yeah.
his mother and my grandmother worked together. They were friends. And when
Okay.
my mother was pregnant, she said to name her Tonya. And
Oh,
that's how I got my name, Tonya. It's
oh,
not it's not Tanya, it's Tonya with a tilde over the
Tonya.
O.
Tonya.
Yeah,
Yes.
Tonya.
Got it. That's
That's how I
beautiful.
got my name. So I guess I was destined for something. If
That,
Geraldo Rivera's mother gave me my name, right?
yeah, it's not just Tanya, it's Donya.
It's Tonya. Yes.
Yeah, yeah, I love that, sweetheart. I love it. I love it. And so, women like you have certainly made a difference in the world, Tonya. And you yourself have found another way to shine the spotlight on women. It's just no surprise as I'm learning more about you. You've created this Be You Not Her challenge for
Mhm.
Women's History Month. Tell us about that.
Yeah, it's really, a challenge that I put together on social media to celebrate a woman who is uniquely herself. Somebody that inspires you, somebody that's fierce and that, when you see her, she inspires you. And so that's what I ask women to do, nominate someone and let's just spread the love and encourage each other. That's really what it's about. We need to be lifted up as women
Yes,
because there's so many things pulling us down as women. And
yes.
so any chance that we can to uplift each other, that's what we need to do.
Absolutely. And so it looks like they can nominate someone by logging on to your Facebook or Instagram accounts. You want to put that
Yes.
out there?
Sure. It's I am Tonya Lewis Taylor. I am Tonya Lewis Taylor. And if you scroll, like, go through my post, I don't post that often. I post, when I have something to post about, which, everyone is upset with me, my team, because they want me to post all the time. But if you go there, you'll see the Be You Not Her challenge. And please nominate someone
Mhm.
and share the love and let a woman know that may not even realize how much she is influencing you. Let her know that her journey matters. Mhm.
Yes, yes, and you want them to include a photo and that brief summary about the person, and then again tag you and three friends. I am Tonya Lewis Taylor, and that's on Instagram as well as Facebook. Awesome,
Yeah.
awesome. How's it going so far? How's it going?
It is going well. It's amazing when you get powerful women together, you get women together, man, we can do anything. You hear me?
Yes,
And just when I, put this out to my sister girls, like I just love to know and see how women support women. It just encourages me because I understand that we are the salt of the earth. We
Yes.
are the salt of the earth. Don't let nobody kid you. And
Yes.
we give everything its flavor. Without us, it don't have no flavor. So
That's right. That's
we gotta
right.
support
That's
each other.
very good. So I love this, everyone. Again, it's the Be You, Not Her challenge, named after her new book, Be You, Not Her. And the book, I read the book and I love it. I love the journey that you take us on. And you know, we always, and I think you said this in the book too, we always um kind of work or strive to get to a certain destination, or
Mhm.
to a place where we can say we have arrived, but it's the journey. Clearly your life story shows us that it's the journey that is so
It is.
important. And so, no matter where you are in your life, ladies, if you feel like you've already arrived, if you get this book and read it, you will definitely discover some things about yourself. Or if you're just kind of, starting out on that process of self-discovery, this book will help you get there as well. And again, be sure to uh, visit Tonya's social media at I am Tonya Taylor, Lewis Taylor,
Mhm.
and nominate a woman. Nominate a woman. Let's get this thing
Nominate a
popping.
woman.
The deadline is the 31st of this month, the end of Women's History Month. When are you going to showcase is it one winner, a couple of winners? How are you going
No,
to
no,
do?
no. We're just asking people to just share the love. Let's just spread love with each other. We
Got
have
it.
been through a hell of a deal in 2020 with COVID. I
Yeah.
think everybody sees that we all need to spread more love because
Yes,
with the
ma'am.
amount of death and people that we lost last year, come on.
It's incredible. It's just I'm still trying to wrap my head around that. More than a half a million people have passed in the last year.
And 12 of those people were family and close friends of mine.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Same, not 12, but yeah, same here. I have people that yeah, it's horrible. But there's uh, we can always find a positive in that, and that is that hopefully our eyes have been opened and we see that the rat race is not that important anymore. I don't know what's happening on the streets of New York, but if you go downtown Chicago, fast forward a year or two ago, the street would be full of people scurrying
Yeah.
around, rushing around, going here, going there, and now there's hardly, any people because people are home, working from home, and hopefully, prayerfully enjoying their families, enjoying their children, and realizing that the pace that we were living at wasn't
It really
necessarily the
wasn't.
way.
It
Yeah.
wasn't. And as you can see, we got put on punishment. We got slowed down. The creator put us on punishment, slowed us down, and said, "Okay, y'all want to act crazy? I'm gonna slow you down."
Okay.
So now we realize that a lot of the stuff that we thought was important is really not important anymore. And the things that are important are stuff like love and peace and joy and helping to inspire each other so that we can live out our true authentic greatness. So
Yeah,
that's
yeah, yeah, yeah. And that's a good close, but let me just say this, this wraps the segment. If there's anything else that you really want to, wrap up and close this segment with, Tonya, what is it that you would want to say?
I just want to encourage all of your viewers to live purposefully, live intentional, and understand that your journey is not just for you, it's for everybody that is assigned to you. There are people who are assigned to you that you will meet along the way that you're supposed to inspire, encourage. And part of your story is going to help them build their story. So I just say, just continue to be you, not her, be you, not him, and live life on purpose.
Fantastic. Such a treat to speak with you. Thank you for being such an inspiring person as well as a lifter of people. That
Oh,
that
thank you.
that means a lot in this world. We don't see that often, as we just said, sometimes people are just, you know, zeroed in on where they're trying to go, and in the process, rather than lift people, we trample people, and that is certainly not the way. So thank you for being that lifter, that encourager. Thank you for sharing some time on the Cafe Society to speak with me. And prayerfully, we will continue to stay connected.
Thank you for having me, Marilyn. Blessings always.
All right, sweetheart. You enjoy the weekend and stay safe.
You
Wear your
too.
mask, social
Will do.
distance, wash your hands. All
Will
right.
do. Thank you again. Blessings.
God bless. All right, everybody. And that was Tonya Lewis Taylor, who is the author of Be You, Not Her, that new book that you can get, and also participate in the challenge, which is just to go to her social media. I am Tonya Lewis Taylor, and post a picture of a woman who is inspiring you in whatever way it is, that you want to lift and encourage and support, and then tag three of your friends along with the picture and the brief summary of why that person is important to you. And that's it. It's not a contest. It's just a way to uplift women during this month, Women's History Month. All right. I'm so grateful to have Tonya stop by the show. All right. Well, and that brings us to the end of the show. Before I close, though, I do want to just pause for a second to send condolences to the family and friends of Bill Campbell, who is the former editorial and community relations director for more than 30 years at ABC 7 Chicago. Of course, he was also a veteran newsman. I met him in the mid 90s and, spoke with him on numerous occasions and enjoyed every conversation we had. In fact, he introduced me to a little spot on the Magnificent Mile here in Chicago called Heaven on 7. And it indeed was a great place to have lunch or dinner. So, again, condolences to the family and friends and colleagues of Bill Campbell. He surely will be missed, and may he rest in heavenly peace. All right. And let's go ahead and put that new word out once again for the month of March. It's Paladin, Paladin, and it's an advocate, a defender, or a hero of a noble cause. And that's it, everybody. Remember, if you want to promote, advertise, or get the word out about your product, your service, your business, or whatever it is that you're doing, or support our Christmas giveaway that starts in October, send an email to producer at marylandscafesociety.com. And remember to go to the website, marylandscafesociety.com, and find those social media links to Twitter, Facebook, and also the blog. And be sure to like, subscribe, and share. And as we conclude, as we always do, everybody, I got to tell you what love is on this day. And love is geeky. Because I have the special effect in the background, you probably won't be able to see it. But love is geeky, and of course it's a picture of them being computers. So there you have it. All right. All right. As always, if you don't do anything else this week, be sure that you live, you laugh, and you love. It's been a pleasure and a privilege. And spring officially arrives, I think tomorrow, or is it Sunday? Anyway, it's springtime, everybody. Enjoy. We'll talk next week. Peace.